there, how is it going? Real quick, let me start my new show off with my new little intro music. Well, I guess I'm not gonna have any intro music because didn't nothing play. I don't know why it didn't play. I didn't get no sound from it. It's always something when you got this stuff going on. Unmute, mute, unmute. Let me try that. Try it again. Nope, still no sound. So I don't know what's going on with that, but oh well. We'll figure it out a different time. So just real quick, I'm just jumping on. I thought might be kind of funny since people like stories and all that good stuff. So I was not just in the military myself, but also my dad was in for 22 years in the Army. So I just decided, since people like to get on telling their little stories and stuff, I like, well, let me jump on here and tell some little military brat stories from when my dad was in and I was just traveling around with him. So that's what I'm going to do. And also what I'm going to do is invite you guys that if you were military brats, makes no difference what branch of service your dad or your mom was in. Hey, man, hit me up there in Messenger. Let me know. And hey, let's interview and let's talk about your time as a military brat and chronicle some of your stories. So here's my first story. So now, yes, I'm going back on you. So now this was back in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Fort Bragg is right there where Raleigh, North Carolina is. So Fort Bragg is the deal. 82nd Airborne and all that good stuff. So this was back in 67, 68. Somewhere around there, 68, 69, somewhere in there. So it's between 67 and 69. I was a little brat, probably like, man, third grade, something like that. So I'm not going to lie to you. Back in the day, I was a winner, and I went to fighting and violence, and I was real shy back then. So we had at Fort Bragg, it's almost looked like apartments, and it was in a horseshoe shape, and we lived in the straight part. You know how you, not horseshoe, but you got a building like that. So in the morning, this is kind of along the same line. So the first thing, so when I first went to school there, now we had just came back from Germany, so we was in Germany. So we just came back from Germany. So we in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. So I'm going to school, and my mom up there with me, first day of school at the bus stop. So she puts me up there to go, to school. So, but what happened, when she took me to school first to sign me up for school. So she took me to school. So I didn't ride the bus that morning. She took me to school. So the next morning when she walked me to the bus stop to go to school, well, that wasn't the same bus driver that we had when I was, that brought me home from school. Oh, hey, this is my first time in school. I don't know no difference. So since that wasn't the same bus driver that brought me home, I'm like, I don't know who this bus driver is. And she tried to get me on the bus. Man, I'm just acting a stone fool about getting on this bus because that's not the bus driver that brought me home. I didn't know nothing about they got bus driver to take you to school and the bus driver to take you home. And oh man, she had to whoop my butt right there at the bus stop. Basically, it would be technically my second day of school because I thought the bus drivers had to be the same bus driver to get on that bus. And she had to whoop my behind to get on that bus. So that was kind of funny. Now, along with that same thing, so now that we're getting on the bus, and what they would do is, like the older kids, they would be out there first. So what they would do, they would put their books like in a line to say, okay, this is my spot. So when the bus comes, you just, get your books, you jump in that line and file on the bus. So, like I said, I'm young, I don't know no better. So I'm up there and I cut in the line because I don't know what this means. So this older kid, he just pushed me and knocked me down. Like, what are you doing? You just bully me. And so he did it that day. Then he did it the next day too. I guess he's just gonna start bullying me because I cut in front of the line because I didn't know putting books down considered you being in the line. Like I said, I'm just starting school. This is all new stuff to me. So this guy bullied me so much that what I started doing is that I could see the bus come from my house. So I would stay there and wait for the bus to come around that corner. I could see it coming around the corner. So when it come around the corner, then that's when I ran up there to catch the bus. Because by the time I got there, everybody would already be on the bus. So I did that for so long that one day I was like, Jack, that I'm going up here to get on the bus. So I go up there to get on the bus and I'm waiting. I'm like, man, well, where the guy at? He ain't nowhere. They got to usually bully me. What's going on with this? He ain't out here to bully me today. And so I asked somebody, I said, hey, what happened to whatever his name was? And they said, oh man, they moved already. They gone. So I sit here and I ran from that guy for so long and was hiding from him so long getting on that bus that I didn't even know the dude had moved. He is gone. And I'm still hiding in the house getting on the bus. This guy that moved away and in a whole different state or something by now. He could have been overseas by then. But that's just how chicken and non-violent I was as a little guy right there. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm eating my coffee chocolate chip ice cream while I talk to y'all. So like I said, that was between 67 and 69. Now let's move on up. We go to 75, around 75, 76. And this is when we get stationed overseas. So we go overseas, we go to Germany. And this is the second time we're going to Germany. Because as I told you, when we came to North Carolina, we had just came from Germany. So we're going back to Germany, 75, 76. I'm in like 9th grade now. So this is kind of the crush thing. So you know that if you never travel from Europe, United States back and forth, it's like an 8-hour difference. So when we left here, can't remember if it was afternoon or not, but whatever the case may be, when we end up getting to Germany, it was morning time there. So we go to Frankfurt, get picked up at the airport, get taken to where we're going to be staying in Germany. It's a place called Bad Kreuznach, Germany. The BK Bearcats. That's what we were. Bad Kreuznach, Germany. And so we get there, and like I said, that time delay difference. So when we got there, to me, it was like nighttime. So but it was morning. But to me, the 8 hour difference is nighttime. So I went to like maybe I'm thinking I'm taking a nap. So I knock out. I'm like out of it. So to me, again, it's like nighttime. So when I wake up, I'm thinking it's morning because I'm still on American time. But when I wake up, I smell chicken frying. I'm like, what in the world? So I go out there, I say, Mom, man, what you doing fixing chicken for breakfast? And she said, boy, this ain't no dinner time. We in Germany now. This is a new time. It's breakfast now. I'm like, oh wow, okay. So that day passes by, go to sleep. Next morning, it must have been Monday morning because I didn't hear that the first time. So I'm hearing chatter outside my window. So I'm not knowing that right outside my window is the bus stop to go to school. Like I said, I haven't signed up for school. We just got there. So I hear all this chatter outside out the window. And I look out the window, and then there's this one girl. I'm like, oh, snap. Who is that? You know, back in the day, a lot of us was color struck. So, it was a light-skinned sister. So it was on and popping. But again, at this time, I'm still shy. I'm scared to open my mouth to talk to a girl, just petrified. But I just saw her, and I just started liking her from right off the bat. So, I can't wait to go to school now to find out who this girl is. So, started going to school, see her, and then on top of that, she happens to be on the JV cheerleading squad. Like I said, it's like 9th grade. So she on the JV cheerleading squad. So now I'm like, oh, snap. She's pretty. She look good. And a cheerleader. I'm like, man. But again, I'm scared to talk to her. So this has been going on like all summer long. Scared to talk to her. I mean, I'll speak to her, but I ain't trying to holler at her. I'm just speaking, But the whole time I'm liking her. And, when you don't know no better and you young and dumb. So I'm too scared to say something to her, but I'm getting jealous of other guys talking to her because they'll talk to her, but I won't do that. So man, this goes on, like I said, this goes all the way around to the next school year. No. Let me take that back. It went through because when I got there, it was football season, and I normally play football, but I was too late. So now it's rolling into basketball season. And so, we going to the gym, to the games and stuff like that. So, so I was like, I guess I'm getting up some nerve. I'm going to go ahead and talk to her. So she's down there doing her cheerleading thing. So I just walked down there, and instead of me saying like, hello, what's up, what you doing, anything, I walk over there and I step on her toe. Don't ask me why. It's just the silliest and crazy thing you ever want to do. I stepped on her toe, but at least it got the conversation going. We started talking. So we started talking again, though. You got to remember, I'm still shy. Well, about 15 years old, still don't know what I'm talking about. Like first really teenage official girlfriend. So so we get to talking in some kind of way. We do end up dating or whatever you want to call yourself then. But like, again, I was so shy that I would barely talk to her. I wouldn't hold her hand. And then when we walk into the buildings, because we had 2 buildings we would walk to between classes. And if we were going the same way, we would be so far apart that people just walk in between us and stuff. So it's like we're not even together. And people was like, man, what's wrong with you, dude? Say, man, you supposed to be walking her to class and y'all so far apart, man, you can drive a truck between y'all and stuff. So me being so shy, not really talking. So eventually that just petered out. And so that was like basketball season. And then come around to track season. And then we was all on the same track team and everything. And I think it was like either the last or second to the last track meet, we end up talking again. And by the time we end up talking again to try to actually do a relationship, then they end up moving. So that's just a silly little things you do when you're teenagers. military brat traveling all over the place. You come, they leave, you come. So shout out to my part-time girlfriend, Miss Marlisa Mabin. So that was you. So, you know, that's the story as I remember it. If you remember something different, holler at your boy. Let's talk about it, see what's going on. All right. So last but not least, now going backwards a little bit for, I think it's like 73, 74. We was at Fort Polk, Louisiana. But we was down in Leesville, had a housing area for the military people called New Lano. So that's where we all, you know, that's where all the kids that, because I think at that time they didn't have the base housing yet, or the housing on post. They built that later. But so everybody that was in the military lived in these housing that was off the post. We all went to Leesville High School and junior high and all that good stuff. So, you know, that's Louisiana for you. So it's plenty of weeds and I want to call it jungle, but woods with snakes and stuff crawling all over the place and little creeks and all that kind of stuff. So we used to go out in the woods, you know, doing our little boys doing their safari and hanging out in the woods. So we hanging out in the woods, going through there, and I forgot something happened. Something happened in the woods where our parents told us, do not go back in those woods. Well, you know, if your parents tell you not to do something, you little knuckleheaded boy, at that time, I might have been 11, 12 or something like that. So they said, hey, something happened in the woods. Can't remember, but they said, do not go in those woods. So, hey, we walking around the neighborhood. So what happened? Somebody like, yo, man, let's go in the woods. Remember where those vines are? We can swing across the creek and all that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, that'd be fun. Knowing we're not supposed to go in the woods. So we go in the woods. We go to where the vines are, like just like Tarzan jungle vine type thing. And it swings out over this creek and comes back. Swing out, come back. So there we out there just having fun, swinging and coming back. Then 2 people jump on the vine. Hey, let's jump. Let's see 2 people jump on the vine. 2 people jump on the vine. We swing out. We come back. Then next thing you know, hey, let's see if we can get 3 people on the vine. 3 people jump on the vine. We swing out. We come back. Hey, let's get a 4th on the vine. 4 people get on the vine. As we get ready to swing, one guy lets go. As we swinging out there, right as we get right over the middle of the creek, snap, the vine breaks. Splash. So now we all soaking wet, and we wasn't supposed to be in the woods in the first place. So now how you gonna go home and tell your parents how you got soaking wet? Because everybody know the creeks are in the woods, and we weren't supposed to be in the woods. So how you gonna come home soaking wet and tell your parents how you got soaking wet? So 3 of us are fully soaked wet. So here we are walking around the neighborhood. I don't know how many hours we were walking around in the neighborhood, but we were walking around in the neighborhood just trying to dry off. Soaking wet, just walking around trying to dry off. So that really never worked out. So right behind our house, it was a drop, and then the rest of the houses. So it was always water and mud that piled up right there. So after walking around for hours trying to dry off, and we walked by there, and I like, oh, I know. So we go over there and jump in that modern the mud and water that was in those people's backyard, and then I go home and like, Daddy, look, we were trying to come through the backyard over there, and I slipped and fell and got all muddy and stuff. And guess what? He fell for it because he knew how that backyard, those people's backyard, were right behind us. So, hey, that's how I got away with going to the woods that I wasn't supposed to go to, getting soaking wet, and got away with it. No whooping, my man. No whooping. So I have to probably tell some whooping stories next time. But those are 3 stories of the military brat Chronicles. Might not have been that exciting, but they will get better, believe me. And again, if you are a military brat, no matter, makes no difference what service your parent was in, and you want to tell your little military brat story, holler at me in the messenger. Let me know who you are, where you are, how I can get a hold of you, and let's set something up. And the next time, I hope I see you. Hope you check out the Military Brat Chronicles. I might have my sisters on because I know they probably have some good stories too, especially it might be some about me that I forgot. But hey, I don't know when I'm going to do it, how I'm going to do it. I'll just throw it up there and say, this is what I'm doing. And then we'll go from there. So until next time, you guys be careful, be safe out there. That coronavirus, that new variation D, I guess they call it, is making everything go crazy again. So protect yourself out there. Stay safe. Until next time. Salute.